Okay, let's jump right into this. Welcome to today's Explainer, where we're breaking down something every single rider absolutely needs to know, but obviously hopes they never actually have to use. We are setting the stage for a high-stakes, hyper-focused breakdown of motorcycle survival maneuvers. Look, riding is an incredible experience, right? But it comes with some very unique, incredibly fast-paced risks. So today we're diving straight into the hard data and the proven mechanics behind split-second survival on a bike. We're going to look closely at the exact split-second actions that keep you upright and, most importantly, the non-negotiable elements of your personal safety.
So I want you to literally put yourself behind the handlebars for a second here. Imagine this scenario. You're cruising down the road, everything is going perfectly fine, and then bam, out of nowhere, someone or something suddenly pulls right into the middle of the street, completely blocking your path. It happens in the blink of an eye. What is your very first move? What does your gut scream at you to do? Well, keep that instinct in mind, because as the physics and expert training show us, what you think you should do might actually be the exact opposite of what will save you. To put that into perspective, think about this. At just 60 miles per hour, you're traveling 88 feet in a single second. You literally don't have time to think, you only have time to react.
Section 1. The Sudden Obstacle. The Anatomy of a Crisis.
Section 2. Rethinking the brakes and overriding that instinct.
Okay, this is where things get absolutely crucial. When an obstacle appears out of literally nowhere, the very first thing your brain screams at you to do in a total panic is actually the completely wrong move. Panic makes us want to just grab a huge handful of brake to stop the bike immediately. Don't do it. As the data clearly shows, partial panic braking is a really dangerous reaction that can completely destabilize your bike. Instead, the trained reaction, what the pros do, is to immediately roll off the accelerator and apply controlled braking without pulling the clutch. This is a deliberate, highly trained response that keeps the bike perfectly stable and actually keeps the power of the engine engaged to help you slow down, rather than just relying on a terrified, panicked squeeze of your hands.
And that introduces a seriously critical technique: engine braking. Basically, by downshifting rather than just pulling in the clutch, you're using the engine's own internal resistance to safely scrub off that speed. It's really a masterful way to manage your rapid deceleration because it keeps the whole bike balanced and prevents your tires from locking up and skidding out during a panic situation.
Moving right along to Section 3. The Diversion Maneuver. Finding the exit.
All right, so up until now, we've been talking all about how to safely scrub off your speed. But honestly, slowing down is really only half the battle. You're decelerating, sure, but you also need to actively find a way completely out of the danger zone. So here is the precise 4-step evasive protocol. Step 1, release the accelerator. Step 2, brake without applying the clutch. Step 3, downshift to utilize all that engine braking we just talked about. And finally, step 4, divert and look for a gap. It's like a giant puzzle happening in real time. As you're executing those first 3 mechanical steps, your eyes absolutely must be up, actively scanning the environment. You're looking for a gap in traffic, or even a clear sidewalk to divert your vehicle safely. Your hands and feet are busy shedding the speed, but your eyes are busy finding your safe exit strategy.
Which brings us to Section 4, the ultimate failsafe, when physics takes over.
Now, we do need to take a second and acknowledge the harsh reality of the road. You can execute all those evasive steps perfectly. You can completely override your instinct, manage your clutch like a pro, and scan for a gap. But human error, totally unpredictable drivers, and the raw, unforgiving laws of physics mean that you simply cannot avoid every single crash. Sometimes the gap just closes. Sometimes the obstacle is just too wide to get around. When physics inevitably takes over, the rule is simple and non-negotiable. Always gear up to avoid major injuries. You are totally exposed out there, and your protective gear is literally the only thing standing between your body and the pavement.
So, the absolutely crucial point is this. Protective gear is the absolute necessity you cannot maneuver without. Seriously, we can spend hours and hours practicing evasive protocols, clutchless braking, and perfect downshifting, but all the perfect evasive maneuvers in the world cannot replace the absolute necessity of protective gear as your final, undeniable line of defense. Expert training ties these two concepts together for a very good reason. Your evasive skills, they help you avoid the accident, but your gear, that's what actually saves you when the accident becomes totally unavoidable. It is the ultimate, non-negotiable foundation of your entire survival toolkit. Without it, having the best reflexes in the world means absolutely nothing.
And that brings us to a final, pretty provocative question I want to leave you with today. Your reflexes might save the bike, but is your gear ready to save you? I really want you to take a hard, honest look at your preparations before your next ride. Are you relying entirely on your ability to just find a gap? Are you genuinely prepared for the exact moment when you simply can't? Keep these split-second maneuvers in mind, respect the raw physics of the road, and make absolutely sure your final line of defense is just as strong as your riding skills. Thank you so much for joining me for this explainer, and hey, stay incredibly safe out there.